Alright, I am FantasticFox, and this is my submission for Fastest Furs Fall of 2022. This is Ridge Racer Type 4. My favorite racing game, one of my favorite games in general. I'm just gonna get started in 3, 2, 1, go. So starting off, there's gonna be there's some story stuff that I'm skipping, and there's some selections that I'm making here. Basically, I was picking the team. There's 4 teams, and there's 4 manufacturers. And the combination that I'm doing is Racing Team Solvaloo, which is the second hardest and the fastest. So I did go with the fastest team. They're not actually my favorite. I prefer the hardest team. I like racing as Dig Racing Team, but they are a little slow and they are much harder. Just not really what you do for any percent. And then as far as manufacturer kind of decides how your car controls, how it handles, and whether it's a drift type or a grip type. And I picked Osciludo. And Osciludo is a drift type. It is so this combination, RTS and Osciludo, is the current meta. It's the world records in both console and emulation are with RTS Osciludo. They are harder to get good times with. The grip team Tarazi is a little bit more consistent and easier to handle and take. If you make a mistake, it's less of a big deal with them. And here's the thing: is I'm better, I think, with Tarazi in general. But Tarazi is, compared to Osciludo, a little bit more boring to watch. So even though I would probably do better with Tarazi, I'm running Osciludo because it's got those tight drifts, which is kind of like, that's kind of like what Ridge Racer is about, is drifting. Like that's one of the big appeals to it is drifting around the borders super fast. And I know everything seems kind of slow right now. It's slow to start. It picks up speed more and more as the Grand Prix goes on. And I should point out the Grand Prix is the any percent category. Like at any point you can choose Grand Prix in the main menu, and it gives you start with the slowest car in the manufacturer and the team, and you work your way up depending on how you perform in the races. You get different cars. There are a total of 321 cars in this game that you can unlock. There's a 100% category in which you unlock every car, and that takes about 50-something hours, so not exactly a common category for people to run. Most people run any percent, which is about it's about half an hour, under half an hour, generally under half an hour. Good times, like the best times in any percent, are under 28 minutes. And that's not me. But I like to think I'm pretty decent. I'm a little bit higher than middle of the road. But yeah, this game came out in 1999, which makes it one of the last, maybe not one of the last, but definitely a later PS1 game. And I think it really shows. If you look at Ridge Racer 1 and Ridge Racer Revolution and Rage Racer comparatively, there's a big difference when it comes to this game. It's clear that, like, they got a much better sense of what they were doing visually. Gameplay-wise, this game is on another level entirely from anything else I've played. Like, it's so tight and enjoyable. The courses are fantastic. The soundtrack on this game is just like unbelievable. One of my very favorite video game soundtracks, and I don't think I'm alone in that opinion. I think that's a pretty common opinion, is that Ridge Racer Type 4 has one of the best soundtracks that's out there.
You've got a new car.
Like, if you look it up on YouTube, which if you haven't played this game, I highly recommend just go on YouTube and look up the Ridge Racer Type 4 soundtrack, and tons of comments on there are just like, I never played this game, but wow, this soundtrack is really amazing. Sorry, I have to stop every time. Every time it's the start of a race, because I have to really precisely hit, like, you have to shift gears and accelerate just right to get a fast start at the beginning of every race. So yeah, I guess I can talk about some of the tech in this. It's pretty straightforward. There's the fast start at the beginning of the race, where you shift right at the start while you're holding accelerate, and that kind of, like, depending on what gear you're in, it has different results for different cars. For this one, it's best to be in 4th gear and then shift up to 5th gear right at the start. And other than that, I mean, you know, there's drifting. There's a few different ways to drift. You can either release the gas and then turn and then press the gas again, or you can release the gas, tap the brake, and turn, and then hit the accelerator again. And that's a little bit faster and easier to do, but not quite as efficient. But that's how I do it, because I like that precision. I like being able to just like turn exactly when I want to. And there's another piece of tech that doesn't get a lot of play, and that is tapping the accelerator. And it kind of slows you down without hitting the brakes, just a little bit, easing up on the gas. I know that sounds like an intuitive thing, like, yeah, you ease up on the gas, and then you can say that you slow down just a little bit. But you can't, if you just ease up on the gas too much, you'll start a drift, or you'll start turning really deep in the drift cars. But if you tap it, you can kind of like control how you do a controlled shorter turn. And you might notice one of the things that I'm doing when I'm drifting is changing gears. That's a little bit of speed tech that's in this game to go just a little bit faster. It's a little faster to change gears briefly after a drift.
We're racing. 3, 2, 1, go! Here we go. It's go. 3 laps to go.
And something that I don't think I've done it on this run, something that I'm trying to do at the start of most courses for the beginning of this is to get ahead of a car that's going to go really fast shortly after the start of the race, and then kind of ride it as it goes really fast. It kind of would carry me forward with that extra momentum. I haven't gotten it, but that's a way to, that's like a little speed tech right there. And there's another one right there where I go uphill and shift, downshift. It actually causes the speed to go up instead of going down, which normally is what happens when you downshift and you're going at a good speed. Doing so hot on this one. So yeah, even not doing good, like, it's extremely lenient. You can see I got, like, that lap was 4 seconds slower than the first lap, and I'm still in first place at the, like, start of the third lap. So it's very lenient if you're good at the game. don't have to be great. Like, some stuff, there are some challenges in this game that are genuinely really hard.
It's the final stretch.
And that's stuff that you have to do when you're doing like 100%, or one of the categories I like is all special machines 100%, which is kind of like a shortened version of 100%, where you're not collecting all the cars, but you're collecting
You've got a new car.
one of each combination of team and manufacturer, and then getting the special cars, which is like the ultimate challenges of this game. And that's nice. That's a like a 10-hour category, maybe.
2, 1, go! Here we go. 3 laps to go. It's showtime.
So yeah, you can see that things are much faster now. This heat is where it really picks up speed.
It's a new record. 2 laps to go.
And this is definitely the shortest course in the game. So they set it up so that you can get first place really fast and easy. And I'm probably going to end up, when I get to the last 2 levels, I'm probably going to stop talking, because they're pretty difficult and require a good amount of concentration.
3, 2, 1, go! Here we go. 3 laps to go. It's showtime.
every time you hear, oh, that's a new record, that's always a good feeling to get a new best time. Okay, I definitely need to concentrate on this one because this is arguably the hardest level in the GP.
We're racing. 3, 2, 1, go! Here we go! 3 laps to go.
That corner is so rough. Okay, now that that's out of the way, I can kind of breathe. This last one is like...
You've got a new card ready.
It's easy on paper. It's really easy on paper. It's just a loop, pretty much. Well, there's a few turns in different directions, but it's... You don't need to drift, you don't need to brake or anything. But at the same time, the turns are tight. The car that you have is very fast, and it's designed to be very fast and not handle super well. It's all about speed, not handling. So these turns are risky, is the main thing. Oh, my heart's pounding. I'm on pace to get a PB on this. And possibly my first sub 29. Just barely, but that's it. Sub 29, finally. Yay! Alright, that's Ridge Racer Type 4, any percent with RTS Absoluto. I hope that I get to run at Fastest Birds. Thank you for watching my submission, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!